Hey everyone, I'm Zahra. I'm a nutritionist and an NLP practitioner, and I'm passionate about empowering women to release self-doubt and find inner clarity. Today, I'm going to be talking about the heroine's journey. Now, you might have heard of the hero's journey. There's the Threshold Guardians, there's the Call to Adventure, there's the Dark Night of the Soul. I have adapted the hero's journey to the specific female issues that we go through. And I've developed this heroine's journey. For simplicity's sake, I've divided it into 3 phases. The first one being descent. Second one is revelation, and then moving on to return and integration. Now, why is it important for you to understand heroine's journey? If you've ever gone through loss or challenging situations where things felt so uncertain you didn't even know how you're going to move out of it, knowing about the heroine's journey allows you to give yourself a framework in your mind to create a pathway out of that uncertainty. It gives you a clear roadmap for your transformational journey in which you can go through the uncertainty and come out with clarity and confidence. This is the whole reason why I'm sharing this with you, because if I had known about this years ago, I probably wouldn't have stayed stuck in the descent phase for as long as I did. And this is the first most important point I want to share with you. Descent is the part of the phase that is necessary. Yes, it is necessary for pain to become so large that now you can't help but pay attention to it. And honestly, I think more people need to become aware of this, because what I see is that too often people are spending way too long in this phase. Why? Because it's filled with uncertainty. They don't know how to get out of it. It creates like a stuckness feeling. It creates like a rigidity in which you feel like you're trapped in a negative situation that you can't get out of. I'm sure you've all heard of the boiling frog analogy, right? Where a frog is placed in water and the heat is slowly turned up. Because of how slow it's turned up, it never actually jumps out and basically gets boiled alive. Now, it sounds gruesome because it's to demonstrate the point that often we have been tolerating negative situations for so long. We're like that frog in boiling water. The heat's turned way up, we're sitting in boiling water, and we're not jumping out. We've become tolerant of negative situations. Becoming aware of this phase is the most important step if you are going to go through that transformational process. An example of this descent could be a loss. Maybe a loss of a family member, or loss of a job, loss of a living situation, loss of certainty, loss of predictability, loss of stability. It's also marked by an identity shift. Like, for example, if you're going through a transitional phase, maybe you're going from puberty to adulthood. Maybe you're trying to figure out your way through your 20s and your late 20s, for example. And you're trying to figure out how to study and work at the same time and manage your self-care routines. And maybe you need to unlearn that childhood trauma as well and do it all at the same time, while also maintaining your social circle and keep your house clean and feed yourself well. I mean, come on, that can be such a daunting process to find your balance in that. I'm saying this because I've gone through this myself and I'm still finding my balance. So if you're going through that, not to worry, just become aware of where you're at, which phase you're in. This isn't something you have to stay stuck in forever. It's the thing that marks your transformation. So it's a good sign, because that means you're at step 1. Now, step 2, revelation. Classically, in the hero's journey, this might be referred to as the dark night of the soul, but I've reframed it for heroine's journey to talk about the self-discovery process that results from going through the negative situation. This is where you start getting insights, and this is why it's my most favorite part of the step. Honestly, sometimes I chase this step like an addiction. I'm not gonna lie. It can be so revelatory, for lack of a better word, that you can start getting this clarity that you've never had before. You even start getting insights, and you go through this process of self-discovery, like a part of you just opens up to you and you realize, you know what? I am stronger than I thought. I have grown so much and I've developed a lot of strength, and I can go through this really challenging situation, and I am that resilient. This self-discovery process brings you back home to yourself. So you go from being a stressed nervous system to a calm, grounded state. from this calm, grounded state, you're going to start reclaiming your voice. And you're going to be figuring out what your truth is. Your truth does not need to be silenced anymore. Your truth is worth speaking to the world. Once you discover this truth, you will want to share it with everyone. And this process can be so humbling, and it can be such a somber experience. This is the time in your life where you're going to be having mindset shifts. You're going to be shifting in your identity, shifting in your mindsets, shifting in your beliefs and your thoughts and your emotions and your actions. And this shift is going to feel new at first, but it's also going to make you feel like you're discovering a new part of yourself, a new expression of yourself that you've been disconnected from all your life. There will be a feeling of sense of familiarity, but then there also is going to be like this newness feeling, like, oh, I've never done this before, but it feels aligned, but it's still scary because it's new. Trust me, just go through the process when that's happening. It's okay. Let's talk about the third step, return and integration. This step is the crux of the transformational process because it solidifies and maintains all the changes that you've done. You integrate them back. Now, if descent felt like the ground beneath you was fading, return and integration is about you've already collected all the pieces and you're connecting them together, and you're zooming out and you're looking at the bigger picture. You're starting to see that you are not just a small part of what you thought you were. You're not just someone who's just a daughter or who's just a student or is just an employee. You start to see, oh, I am more than the sum of these things. Yes, they've shaped my personality, but I know who I am. And this can look like daily embodiment of habits, maybe new lessons that you want to integrate in your life, new thought patterns, new belief systems, new behaviors. You start to set the boundaries that you've been wanting to put in place for a very long time. And you start realizing that your presence and your voice matters. You start to even share wisdom with people around you. This is why this process is not just for you, it's for people around you. Everyone benefits from your success and your progress and your transformation. Now, if this is something that you're interested in, you want to move from self-doubt to clarity, follow me for more. Also, if you feel like you're stuck in uncertainty and you want to move into clarity, I offer one-on-one coaching. Now, if you have any questions about the heroine's journey, let me know below. Which phase do you think that you're in at the moment? If you're in the descent phase, trust me, you're not alone. There's definitely areas of my life where I am stuck in that, and I would like to move out of that. But you know, there's so many other things going on. At least that's what I'm telling myself right now. It's okay. We don't have to solve all the world's problems in one day, okay? I really hope to see you in the next video. Until then, stay well. Bye.